Hey, beautifuls! It's Jeanette here, and I wanted to take the time to speak to you today about business planning and the important role it plays in running a successful business. So, I've spoken to a few people recently, and they've had amazing, fantastic ideas, like business ideas, that, with the right planning processes could be phenomenal. However, what I am finding when I am speaking to a lot of people is that when I ask them about the whens, the hows, the wheres, they cannot give me any answers. I'm not speaking about everybody, so don't start taking this personal. The people that I have spoken to, this is not everybody, but it's an alarming amount of people, to be fair. See, what this tells me about people is that they are not serious, and that basically without planning, their visions will never really be executed, because how are you going to execute something if you don't know how to? Anyway, business planning is a topic that every entrepreneur needs to become familiar with if you want to run a profitable and successful business. Your plan gives you the opportunity to focus on all the key elements that you need to put in place in order for you to get off to a good start. You see, it really excites me to know that we are living in a time now where entrepreneurship is so common, especially amongst women, which is amazing. But we need to make sure that we're putting the relevant plans and structures in place which are needed for us to succeed in business. After all, it was Benjamin Franklin that said, failing to plan is planning to fail. And with that, I completely agree. With that said, I just wanted to take a few minutes to speak to you about how simple it is to put a business plan together. I feel like a lot of people kind of put it off or don't do it because it feels a bit like a chore. But once you actually get started, it's actually not that bad, and it's definitely a process that is worth doing. Business plans usually follow a specific structure, but obviously that does depend and it varies on your profession and industry. My perspective comes from that of a creative industry, as my background is event planning, production and design. No matter how little you know about business planning, my guess is that you've heard of the executive summary and you have an idea of what it is. But just to give you a little bit of a brief, I'm going to kind of recap. So the executive summary it summarizes each area of your business startup process. And the point of the summary is to provide every reader with enough information to know what your business does, how you do it, how you will finance it, who your competitors are, and how you plan on making a mark in your industry by creating a position for yourself in your market. When creating your executive summary, try not to get carried away with the details. As I said before, it's a summary, so don't make it too long. I think 2 to 3 pages at the very most is enough. But again, that depends on your business and it will vary for each business model. It's good to know that although your executive summary is the first section of your business plan, it's actually custom to do it last once you've added all the content to your plan, which makes sense because it's then easier to summarize each section to form the executive summary. So as we move on to your business plan content, the area I would start on is the business idea, which is also known as the opportunity. And this section will explain products and services you offer, as well as any advantages or disadvantages that your business will provide and how you will benefit your consumer. Other things to think about in this section may be, do you have the right skill set? Have you undergone any training? Do you need to undergo any training? How do you plan on tackling the industry, your industry? And what difference do you plan on making in your market? The next section that I would focus on is the marketing strategy. And I feel that the marketing strategy is one of the most important sections of your business plan. And the reason why I say that is because you could have the most amazing product or service, but if no one knows about you, then you are not going to make any money. No one is going to come knocking at your door asking for this amazing thing that you have that no one knows about. So it's definitely worth spending a lot of time and really thinking about and planning how you are going to market yourself and your business. Have you really given enough thought to who your ideal client is, who you are directly marketing to? This is so important, and this is where so many businesses go wrong because their marketing is all over the place. They're trying to market to so many different people that their actually success rate is really low. You have to be very specific about your ideal client and who you are trying to attract to purchase your services or products. It's important that you're very specific about which marketing methods that you will use to market your business, and that you explain why these platforms work for your particular business model and your target audience. Will your marketing methods consist of social media marketing, email marketing, Facebook ads, Google campaigns? Or will you use direct marketing methods such as brochures, postcards, or maybe even cold calling? Although I'm not going to lie to you, that is my worst thing in the world, cold calling. But I'll come back to that. There's so many things to consider when it comes to marketing, so it's best to do as much research as you can. The next section that I would think about focusing on is how you'll be filling a gap in the market. And what I mean by that is that, we know that you're probably not the only one providing the product or services that you're offering. And if you are, then you are onto a winner. But most of us that go into business, they're not, we do things that are already out there that other people are already doing. So what you need to think about is how what you're doing, your services and your business is different from that of your competitors. How will you stand out as a company? What will you offer that they don't? Why would your potential clients choose you over them? These are just a few things to think about and to add to this section of your business plan. So I kind of start thinking now on, your ideal client and defining your ideal client, which is, as I touched upon previously, is extremely important when it comes to marketing. Defining your client involves carrying out an extensive amount of research on your marketing industry. So this is definitely where you get really stuck into your market research and find out as much as you can. Think about how you can make your business niche. Will you be offering your service to high-end or low-end clients? What age ranges will your clients most likely be? And why do you think they'll buy from you? What will their professions be? And what will their incomes be? Where do they spend their money online? What level of service are they used to experiencing online? And what kind of branding do you need to implement to attract them to your business? Finding the answer to these questions will identify exactly who you are marketing to, which is pretty much the base of your marketing strategy. You need to make sure that you've carried out enough market research. You can present this information by way of surveys, questionnaires, quizzes, or anything that you feel will back up your evidence and findings. This is a great way to make sure that you are marketing yourself effectively and to the relevant bracket of consumer, because if you're not, you might find yourself struggling to book clients. What I tend to see quite often are entrepreneurs who are not quite sure who they're marketing to, and what tends to happen is that their branding doesn't quite attract the right clientele, and when it comes to pricing their products or services, they price in a way that falls out of line with what they are offering. So in other words, they could be pricing too low to attract high-end clients or too high to attract low-end clients. Okay, so now we're moving on to our positioning statement. Your positioning statement gives you the opportunity to offer information about why your business is different from your competitors. If you have a story which indicates an experience you've gone through, which has helped you realize that there is a gap in the market that you are trying to fill at the moment, then this is a great time for you to express that. Moving on to staff and structure, you need to be thinking about which resources your business will need to become functional. Yes, it's true that startup businesses don't usually hire staff straight away, but it's definitely something that you need to be thinking about, along with how you plan on growing and developing your business in the future. Maybe you thought about hiring contractors. If so, how much do they charge? It's worth bearing in mind that when you start hiring people, you need to start thinking about things like tax, insurance, pensions, and these areas should all be broken down and explained in more detail. If you're starting out as a solopreneur, how long do you expect that you'll work alone before hiring your first member of staff? Do you plan on delegating any of your work straight away or maybe within the first year? If so, I can definitely recommend using or just even having a look at Fiverr, as it offers great resources for things that you might lack experience with, such as social media management, blogging, content writing, copywriting. So definitely go on there. You may have to do a bit of research and read a few reviews, but there are some really, really capable individuals on there that can offer you services which are going to make your life easier on a daily basis, which are good value for money. So the last thing that I would think about whilst creating my business plan is my financial forecast. And this is, well, in my opinion, the most important part of your business plan, especially if you are planning on applying for a loan or any financial support from investors. Try to spend a good amount of time thinking about what goes into this section. Most people that will be looking over your business plan will forward to this section. This is a crucial part of your business planning. And you don't want it to look like you haven't spent enough time or thought on your financial forecasting, or you may run the risk of not being taken seriously by someone who is considering investing in you, or, as I said earlier, issuing you with a loan or something, some other kind of financial support. You need to be able to demonstrate what your financial goals and objectives are, and to be able to explain the financial structures and considerations. If you are applying for a loan, what sales margin does your company need to reach comfortably to pay back any lenders or investors? This is also something that they're going to look quite carefully into. You also need to be able to show that you've considered what costs are involved in running your company on a day-to-day basis. This could include inventory, taxes, wages, stationery, training, vehicle hire, and any other incurred costs. You should also be in a position to show details of this by creating a balance sheet, a cash flow spreadsheet, and a financial forecasting spreadsheet. By creating a detailed financial forecast, you are demonstrating to the reader how you plan on creating a profit in your business, as well as the amount of money you need to earn to make your business lucrative. So we're coming to the end now, and I just want to say that lastly, you must be sure to carry out contingency planning and think of ways to mitigate your risks. You never really know what can happen in life, but if you plan ahead, then you may know how to deal with it if the worst does actually happen. Don't be scared to get advice from other business owners, friends, and also speaking to an accountant is a really good idea, especially when it comes to financial planning. This was a long one, so thank you for sticking with me. I invite you to join our online community. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any direct questions or if there are any issues that you would like me to address. Until next time, my beautiful, beautiful people. Peace out.